what I will do at the end of first quarter is what I did in a whole year in 2012. Think about that, right? And I'm like, oh, this is a bad day, right? The goalposts keep moving. All right, my friends, the Ultimate OD podcast. I am fired up today. I want you to be great. Greatness will not just happen. There's a process, there's challenges. It's a roller coaster. Listen to my advice. 5 things you can do to be a master of your own domain. We have the closing thought of the episode. This is the Ultimate OD podcast. Here we go. All right, my friends, the Ultimate OD podcast. Thank you for the likes, listens, subscribers. I just love talking optometry, and honestly, this is more me talking to myself. I've been having this conversation that we're going to have tonight quite often lately, and whether it's with myself, my associate, my managers, the same thing keeps coming up. And I'm having this talk with staff, the new hires that we're having, and it's kind of this question like, so you want to be great, you want to be an expert, you want to be the big dog. So whether that's, you know, an expert optometrist, you want to be the office manager, you want to be an optician and just, you know, be in the mix, right? That doesn't just happen, right? You're not just going to show up and do that. I want to be this big, like, I want to be this big dog. I want to be Jamie Rosen, right? 50 offices, or Osip Optometry, or Julie Helmus, right? I want to be at that level. And again, they all have different ways of getting there, but they handle multiple doctors. They have the revenue gross that I want to get to. It's not just going to happen, right? There's going to be a lot of pain. And I use this saying all the time is you don't grow without pain. And I look at my managers, my associate, me, where I'm at right now, and we're all going through these growing pains right now. It's hard. You know, my office manager, she's trying to manage an office when she's never really led a team, and the people she's trying to lead aren't getting it, right? My fellow doctor is now in a position where she's doesn't have the greatest support system that she's had in other offices, and a lot more falling on her shoulders. And it's like, oh my goodness, I'm a great doctor, but how do I do these other things, right? Like, you're expecting more of me and I haven't done that, and it's a growing pain, right? I'm now balancing where I had a full schedule. I had my staff that would just, cater to me. Now I'm trying to make accommodations for the other doctors, for the business to be successful, not just myself, but the business to be successful. And it's out of my comfort zone. It's something new. It's different, right? And it's not bad. It's just growth. And one of the things that you'll notice is you're going to fail. Like, I tell that to each and every one of them. And then I'm telling this to you because if you're going to do big things, you have got to be willing to fail. I don't know if it's Netflix guy, Reed Hastings, or Bezos, but one of the things they do is they look at their yearly goals and they'll ask their managers, like, how many times have you failed? And if they're not failing often enough, if they keep hitting their goals, they start to get worried. They get like frantic, like, we're not pushing the limits far enough. And that's their mentality as a leader. It's different than us, different than normal human beings, because we're like, we just want to be successful. We hit all of our goals. Hooray, we're the best, right? They want to push the limits because they know that's how they get to be Reed Hastings. They get to be Netflix. They get to be Amazon, right? Apple, you name it. They will push the limits. See what can and cannot be done, right? Now, with that gets a lot of, well, very little comfort and a lot of stress. I just told you last month, best month we've had ever as an office. And I instantly knew, because I've done this for 13 years, you have a good month, what's coming next? Like, you have to pay for all that work you did the month before. And if you start to slow down, you start looking around like, oh man, is the spigot turning off? It's not. I've done this for enough. That is not going to turn off. you'll go ebbs and flows. There's a roller coaster. And eventually that roller coaster just keeps getting higher and higher. I was telling someone in my office today, like I look back at all the years because I track my monthly totals every single month since 2012. I didn't do it the first 3 months of 2011, right? But I did it until 2012 on. And my best months in 2012 are what I do in a week now. And I kid you not. Like, I think after the end of this month, I might have done in 2 months what I did in a whole year. Again, that's probably 3 months. What I will do at the end of first quarter is what I did in a whole year in 2012. Think about that, right? And I'm like, oh, this is a bad day, right? The goalposts keep moving, and you have to figure out how to manage this. And this is what I want to talk about. There's 5 things I think that have helped me manage the storm, help me get through these times when you're trying to be better than you've ever been before. When you're trying to go to that new level, these are the 5 things I want you to remember. Number 1, little victories. And I've always done this. Like, you get a little victory. I don't care if it's a patient, if it's a good day, if it's a good month, whatever it is, whatever smallest victory you can get, you need to embrace that, celebrate it, and be happy. If you're like, oh, that's you let that go, you're gonna have a bunch of bad days and you're gonna lose juice. But those little victories are what keep you going. If you can do it that one time, if you have that one good month, that one good day, you can string those together and have an amazing career, right? Little victories need to be celebrated, and it may be laughed at if someone else was looking at it, a bigger practice. But I'll tell you what, anyone that's walked in your shoes, anyone that's went there will not laugh because they've lived it, right? I see people that get a good exam, and they're like, look at the cycle, look at the journey, embrace it. Because it reminds me that I have to do the same thing. I have so many patients now that we have so many good outcomes that it's just expected, right? But that's a gift. That's awesome. Embrace that. You've changed someone's life. I know it sounds hyperbolic, but that person that couldn't see or was having trouble, they came, they trusted you, they gave you their money, their time, their trust, and you came through for them. That's awesome. Your staff, literally, I don't know if you realize this, they look to you like you're our fearless leader. You're who we're trusting. We are putting our livelihoods, our family's well-being in your hands. And you came through and you had a good day and you pay them. You make a payroll. That's awesome. When you look at payroll, like my payroll will be close to like $400,000 to $500,000 this year. Holy crap. Like if I didn't pay anyone, I'd be rich, right? But no, but you have that business. That's remarkable. Like little victories. Don't lose sight of those. Number 2, don't try to do it all at once. It's not one big change. It's a bunch of little changes stacked up day after day after day. I tell my associate when she goes into dry eye evaluations, this is what I did. Every person that would come back for a dry eye evaluation, I'd have one, and I'd go through. And I didn't care if they were looking at me like I was cross-eyed crazy, had blue flaming hair. I was going to go through my speech and my spiel because I was sharpening my sword. I was getting better. Now when I step into that exam room and I'm talking dry eye or I'm talking myopia management or whatever that thing is, I know what I'm doing. I can regurgitate it like the back of my hand. That's why I do this podcast. I work so hard on how to put these thoughts into, a presentation that I just do that on a whim in the exam room now. Because I've sharpened my sword. I show up every day and I'm constantly thinking about stories to tell, analogies to give. How do I explain this a better way? And I can't shut it off, but I love it, right? I'm constantly sharpening my sword, getting better. Go through the motions, even if they're not reciprocating the like enthusiasm. Don't change who you are. And I did had my staff do that. I need to get back to doing that to give them more reps, but reps after reps after reps, and you practice how you play. That's what I keep telling myself, telling my staff. Practice how you play. I don't care if it's fellow coworker. I don't care if it's your parent. I don't care if it's the most important person in your city. You come and bring it every single time, and that adds up. That's just how you operate. Okay. And in that same vein, don't get caught up on the results. If you're sharpening your sword constantly and you're like, well, nothing's ever coming through, we're not closing any sales, we're not getting people to do the treatments that we want, I'm not getting enough patients in the office, you're going to again burn out. You didn't do a good or bad job just because they went through with the treatment or strategy, right? Obviously, you want them to, you'll get better at it. But if you did the right thing, we gave them the opportunity, we showed them what's going on, they chose not to do it, that's fine. When I look at this whole scheme of things, think of it as like a number line. And at 0, they're ready to go on to positive numbers and make a change, do something different. But you may get a patient that's at negative 20, and your interaction, your influence brings them to -5. And they go to see their primary care doctor, and because of what they had with you, and then the primary care, they're now at a 1. You've changed them. You've helped get them where they need to be. You don't get to see it. You don't get the rewards, but you had that influence. Now, with a lot of my patients, I always tell my associate, it's about the long game. I get patients to do certain things because they've seen me year after year after year. I use the analogy of my wife. And now, don't tell my kids this, but I proposed to my wife after 7 weeks of knowing her. Yes, that's very aggressive and very, what the crap was I thinking? But, almost 11 years and 4 kids later, we did okay. Still doing okay. However, even in that just stupidly ridiculous pace, after the first date, if I would have started talking to her about, oh, well, our wedding day is going to be like this, and this is what we're going to do when we have a budget and stuff like that, even she would have been like, what the crap, man? We had a really good first date, but I'm not, it was one date, right? Well, when you have a patient that's a new patient and comes into your chair and you're telling them you're going to change their world, they come in for glasses or contacts, and you're like, we have to talk about dry eye. You need an amniotic membrane. We have to do an IPL treatment right now. It's like asking that girl who you had a great connection with on your first date to marry you. Right? No, you go on a few dates, you build a rapport, and now like things that I text me, hey, we're buying this. This is what's going on. Cool. We trust you. We have a relationship. Right? She's gonna go and do this with the kids. Got ya. I trust you. Right? Same thing with these patients. You have to build that rapport. You have to build that relationship. So don't be results driven. It's about the process. Are you doing the right things? Are you setting yourself up for success in year 3? Right? When they've seen you for the 3rd time and they're like, you know what? You've been talking to me about this for a while. It's time we make the move. I have so many patients in the last month that have been diehard monthly contact lens wearers. I see them on the schedule. I'm like, all right, we're just going to give them a year's supply of the monthly again and go. They're like, you know what? I need to change. And I get a year's supply of dailies out of them because that's what they're ready for. I've planted the seed. I've done the work, and they finally listen. It's like they say with your kids. They may not hear you, but they're listening. They are taking it in. They're absorbing it. So like you or me in a relationship, we sit down and all of a sudden I have this weird inclination that we're going to celebrate a birthday this way, or we're going to eat our food this way. And I'm like, where the crap did that come from? And I go to my parents, I'm like, oh no, this is what my dad and mom do. What happened? Right? Because we're taking it in. I respect them. They respect you. So be process driven. The last two, kind of just building on the same same sentiment, but 1% better, right? I know we talk about the law of compounding, and it's showing up and doing the work day after day after day. That's my superpower. Like, I can show up every single day and just pound the pavement, do the same thing, have the same conversations, and wake up and be like, hey, I'm going to do that again. Ready to go. I've said this before, but I think this is the best way of illustrating that is Jerry Seinfeld, when he would go to write, he's like, man, I just want to take the day off. And he was looking out a window at a bakery and he saw construction workers going to work. And he's like, they look miserable. It's like 100 degrees out in the summer. They look really tired. I know I've seen them working all morning. They had lunch and they're going back. They don't want to be going back, but they are beat up. They're tired, but they're going back because it's their stinking job. You go in and do the same work, pound the pavement day after day after day, and that will compound. You will be 1% better. And you do that every day for a year, every day for 2 years, every day for 3 years, and you will have an amazing practice. You will be a master of your domain, right? And the last thing, this goes in with the little victories, celebrating those. You get a choice every single day to wake up and be happy or wake up and choose to be a victim, sad, whatever. But that is a choice. You choose your attitude. You have people that would die to have your problems, that would love to be in this situation. In fact, you yourself 5 years ago looked at where you're at now and be like, I can't wait till I have a big practice, an associate doctor, and, more space. I dreamt about that. I have it now. I am living my dream and I am thankful. Even when I'm stressed out of my freaking mind, when the walls are caving in, my pets' heads are falling off, if you know your Dumb and Dumber references, I'm thankful. At the end of the day, now, I don't always radiate this thankfulness. Ask my wife, ask my kids. There's times when I'm incredibly stressed and I am snappy, right? I just very short fused. But at the end of the day, I know that I'm living the dream. I get to do what I have just thought about for years, every single day, right? You have to have that attitude of gratitude. You have to trick yourself into just seeing the good in the situation. And that's a mind game. It's a mental gymnastics sometimes, but I swear to you, you control that aspect. And if you can't get over that, you're not in the right spot. You're not doing it the right way. You're not operating in the environment that you need to. Okay? I'll end with this story. And I've said this before, but I really like it. There was a man who had a brand new house. He had it built. It was everything he ever dreamt of. And he's a big chef, cook. And in the kitchen, he had this one area where if he walked, it would have this weird creak. And he tried not to be type A, anal. He's like, man, I spent my life's fortune on this house, my dream house. And unfortunately, every time I stand in the spot, it's right where I'm preparing my food. And that noise is going to bother me for the next, 50 years. So he raises a stink and gets the contractor in. And they're like, we see it. We don't know what to do. We could rip up the whole, floor and whatnot. Like, that's the only thing. He's like, I'm not that crazy. And he just says, whatever. They tried everything they could, anything they could think of, even putting a mat down and stuff like that, but he still hears it, right? So he's been dealing with this for about a year now, and he is in a business where he has he sees a lot of people, and one of his friends had this amazing speaks of this amazing carpenter, some friend of a friend that doesn't advertise. He just works on word of mouth, and he's like, he's expensive, but he can fix this. He's like, "Are you sure, man?" And like, I promise you, he, story after story after story. He's like, "You know what? I got the finances. I got like, come on, come in and fix it." And this dude is like $1,000, for the trip out, and then every hour is another $1,000, right? But he's like, screw it. I mean, how long can this take? He's gonna take a look out, and he comes in there, has his toolbox, has his thing, and he's just looking at the floor. He spends about 5 minutes of just staring at it. It's getting awkward. The owner of the house is like, is he having a seance? What do I say anything? And all of a sudden he just like looks like he has an epiphany. He grabs it, he takes out this rubber mallet, uh, I don't know, some kind of like sponge thing, and he takes it and he hits it, and he goes, "It's fixed." And the owner of the house, walks on it. He's like, "Holy crap, it's gone." It's like, awesome. He hands us a bill for $2,000, right? And he's like, the guy's like, "Hey, no, this was like $1,000 office call and $1,000 for every hour you're here, but you were here for like 5 minutes, man. Like, what? Why am I paying you $2,000, right?" And the guy looks at it, and he's like, "You're not paying me for the 5 minutes I was here. You're paying me for the decades of time I put in to be able to fix this in 5 minutes." The guy's like, "Okay." Right? Pays the bill, happy ever after, right? I tell you that story because that man that can charge that fee didn't just get it. He went through everything I just outlined: the pain, the failures, lack of comfort, just celebrating small victories, gathering knowledge. And I want us as business owners, as optometrists, to be that man that will charge that fee and have the patient just looking at us and be, "It was freaking worth it," right? Be that awesome. That's what I have for you. We'll have more for you next week. Where has the time gone? We are to the closing thought of the episode, and I have the perfect ending thought for this podcast. And it's: mastery is the best goal because the rich can't buy it, the impatient can't rush it, the privileged cannot inherit it, and nobody can steal it. You can only earn it through hard work. Mastery is the ultimate status. David Sivers said that. And that, my friends, is what we do on a daily basis. That is why we show up every day trying to get 1% better. Why we're reading the magazines about business, listening to the podcast about business, having these mastermind groups, spending every waking minute thinking about how to sell more your supplies of contacts, how to get your staff to be better, how to get this one patient to be happy. Because we are chasing mastery, and that is the ultimate status. Dr. Lilly out.